At this point we have this churned back here, and I really just need to get this front shape done, get the threading on here. I want to have a back chamfer here, front chamfer here. So I need to go to the finished part in my configurations. So I would go here to Configurations Manager, double click Finished Part, and this is approximately what I want to get. I'm going to have some threads on here though. So what I want to do now is actually start programming it. I'm going to need a couple sketches though before I get into there. I can make them right in the part here just to be upfront about it. And if I look at the sketch, if I go over here to the Feature Manager and I look at the sketch for the Revolve 1, you'll see it's drawn sharp, so it doesn't have these chamfers on here, and that'll be problematic later on. So what I want to do is make a new sketch kind of based on this part. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to tell it from the, looks like, well, it doesn't matter what view I go to. I'm going to go to the front view, and I'm going to tell it to make a sketch, and I'm going to just start making some lines and stuff. So I'm going to go lines. I want to look at my part from the front view, and I'm going to come in here and start making some of this stuff. Now if I start over here, it'd be the easiest. I'm going to go from here to here. I'm going to get to the end point of this. I'm going to have to zoom in a little. Go there. Bring this over to here. I should get an end point. I'm running into problems because of this surface that's on here, or this plane. So I'm going to hit Escape. And I want to take this plane and I want to hide it. So in here I'm going to see this, looks like my plane 1. I'm going to right click on that, I'm going to hide it. Now I'm going to go back to this line and delete it because I don't know if I quite got that snapped into that point. I'm going to go back, look at this from the front view again, zoom in, start creating lines again. So I'll pick there. Now you'll see I get a nice snap up to that end point. Then I'm going to come over to here, and I want to make sure I'm getting the end point, and you'll see here I'm getting the coincidence, so that's where I want. Up to here. Might not have got that one right, so I'm going to try another line. Here. Oh, there it is. See, it's a little above it. Now, it's because of the way it's rotated, but it is right. I'm going to come over here. I want to get this point here. See it up there? And I'm going to come down to here. There should be a point down in here. Now, I don't really want it to snap to this point here. I want to come past. So I'm going to bring it down to about here. And then that's really all as I would need is that. So I'm going to hit Escape, and I get this shape. And that's the shape I'm going to want to use. I might have a mistake here. Let's see what we got here. So it's not snapped to anything exactly. There we go. So I just missed that snap. But it is fully defined now. It's all good there. So I'm going to hit OK. Now I have a sketch that I can use once I get into the actual assembly. Alright, I'm going to go over here to Delcam for SolidWorks. Machine a part. Do you want to machine the current document? Yes. MC inch churn. I'll say open. And I'll bring this in. You'll see I have the sketch there. The axis is incorrect. So it's coming this way. I want the axis to be up here. So I'm just going to pick this face. And you'll see the Z is now going that way. I'll hit the next button. And my solid body, if I go in here to use solid body, I'm going to open one. And I want to grab my dogleg part 3, the same part I'm working on right now. But this time for the configuration, I want to use the 3A shank configuration. And I'll hit open. You'll see that'll bring that in with what we actually have. My material, I'm going to change this to stainless steel again. And I'll hit OK. I'll accept this. It'll ask me for the setup. It's in the proper spot, so I'll hit OK. Alright. So we have the part in here, and we're just basically going to churn this shape. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to do a Delcam new feature, churn bore. I'll hit OK. I'll grab that new sketch I made. You'll see it's going to try to come down here. And I'll hit OK. Now if I do a simulation, you'll see that it won't actually cut this back side off. And that's really just because it's trying to use an 80-degree diamond, and it won't allow it to back chamfer that. So I'm going to need to change my finish tool to a 35. So if I go in here to DFS features and click on my finish pass and look at it here, oh, something opened up. I guess my voice recognition thought I wanted a fish tank. But in here then, slide this over. I want to get this SolidWorks churn 80. I want to double click that, and I want to get a 55-degree diamond. Actually 35-degree diamond. Right hand, and I'll hit OK. Accept that. Now when I simulate it, you'll see it'll come in and it'll put this back chamfer on. And that'll work out nicely, so when I thread across here, I don't have to go in afterwards and try to get that beveled off and ruin the thread. I'll stop it. Now the last thing I need to do is put my thread on here. So I'll go to New Feature, and I want to do some threading. And I'll hit OK. And my diameter is going to be this diameter. That's the 1-inch diameter now. My location, I can pick many places for the location, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this face right here. And the length of it, I'm going to tell the length of it to go out to this face. And you'll see that it brings it all the way across. I was trying to do a groove back here, not really what I want, but we'll fix that later. Okay, the other stuff I want to do, my pitch. My pitch is going to be 1 divided by 40, so 25 thousandths. And in here, my location, I want it to maybe start a little before that, and I want the length to go a little past that. So if my location, if I add in here 0.1, you'll see it'll start a little previous to that. And then my length, if I put in here 0.1, it'll go a little bit past that. Now again, I might not want to go 0.1 past, because if I'm bringing this in here, I'm going to set it up against a washer, but maybe I only want it to go for a length of 0.025. Just so it goes a little past. And I'll hit OK. And I'm going to churn off the relief groove because I don't need the relief groove back here. Now if I do a simulation, you'll see my threading tool coming in. I'm threading it. And I have a nice bevel back here, a nice bevel up here. And you would keep churning this down then until you get it to match up with the nut that the other group made. So that's an overview of how to program this one. Again, notice dogleg part 3.3 because it's another assembly, so you'd have to save this one as 3.3 or 3/3 or however you're going to do it. Alright, that's it for this one.